thanks for all the questions that you sent into TubeElephant. I've got them here with me right now, and I'm going to ask Colin some of the questions. So I've already eliminated the ones that have already been answered, just to let you know, so you won't have to be re-answering questions that have
Sounds good.
The first question that I've got for you is weapons. In Guild Wars 1, you had Rec 9 Dagger Mastery, then you could do max damage with the dagger. What weapon requirements are there in Guild Wars 2?
So the only weapon requirements are level-based, and if your profession can use that weapon. So as long as it's a weapon that your profession has available to it, and you're at the proper level for that weapon, you can use whatever you want.
Okay. In Guild Wars 1, you have the Zulani storage system. Is there likely to be an account-wide storage system again?
Yeah, there will be some sort of account storage in Guild Wars 2. How exactly that's going to work and how all of it will fit into the game, we haven't finalized those details yet. That's something we'll talk about more as we get closer to release, but there certainly will be some sort of account storage.
Will there also be interior storage, like Guild Wars 1?
Yeah, we haven't finalized how we're going to handle materials for crafting. Obviously, crafting generates a ton of materials, and you know that tab was pretty handy in Guild Wars 1. Whether we do that again or not, I don't know right now. We're still trying to figure that out too.
Okay. In Guild Wars 1, we have the miniatures, and they're obviously in Guild Wars 2 again.
Yes.
Are they obtained the same way of age, or are they in dungeon tests, or?
They will be attained multiple ways. How they are attained is something that we're going to go into in more detail down the road. But I will say, you know, mini pets is something that we definitely want to have some fun with in the game and make maybe even a bigger part of Guild Wars 2 than they were in Guild Wars 1.
Fantastic. Going back to weapons, will a level 80 weapon is no doubt more stronger than a level 40 weapon.
Right.
But when you're scaled down, along with armor, when you're scaled down, do your stats on your armor change as well?
So, sidekicking is, it's important to explain, you know, what that does for you power-wise. So, if you're level 80 and you sidekick down to level 40, you are going to be more powerful than a level 40 character because you have better weapon, better
so
armor.
They will keep the same stats?
You may have those scaled back as well, but you will be more powerful because you have earned that stuff. That stuff will give you extra bonuses above and beyond what someone at level 40 will have. But you're not going to be, you know, so powerful that you just run around one hit killing everything. You know, it's partially an anti-griefing mechanism as much as it is a bonus to be able to play with your friends, you know, system. So we need to make sure that it doesn't make you so powerful that it defeats the purpose of sidekicking. But it will allow you to keep some of those benefits for the special armors that you've got.
Okay. A couple questions about rangers and pets. Well, first of all, has the pet AI been tweaked since the famous?
It is constantly being worked on and tweaked. Certainly, you know, the one that we have in the demo here is the same demo we showed at Gamescom and at PAX. So, you know, it's the same AI that we had in the last couple months for what you can see in the demo. However, in the last couple months, we've been working on it a lot back at the office, and it's something we're going to constantly keep iterating on and improving. Because we do feel pets need a lot of work. It's one of the core areas in the game that we've seen a lot of feedback on them. Obviously, we play the game and see that too, and we want to make them a lot better.
And obviously, you're allowed to have 3 pets with you at all times. How do you switch between pets? Can you just hit a button and it's instantly you have your wolf out? Or
so that's how it works right now. Is you literally just open up the pet tab, you select the pet you want to have out, and one pet runs off and the other pet runs in. Or if you're underwater, one pet swims in and the other one swims off. Whether it'll work that way for the final release of the game or not, that's still something that we're iterating on and trying to figure out everything about pets still more at this point. But that is how it works in the current demo.
If I have my pet down to half health and I send them away, and I bring my new pet in, my new pet comes in with full health?
So currently you can't switch pets when you're in combat, only outside of combat. Okay. That may change too, we'll see, but right now that's how it works.
Okay. Currently there are 12 listed types of animal companion on the Guild Wars 2 wiki. You can take a look at the ones that we've got.
Right.
One of the questions was, are there any more types? Because there was one that was, can you tame hawks and other birds?
This list says Ettins and Grawl and ogres and giants. I don't think any of those are going to be pets. I don't know where you guys come up with them. No, I can't say for sure what we're going to end up with finally for the final version of pets. A lot of it is based on what we decide to do with pets from a balance perspective and what animations that those models have available to them. If we decide we want pets to be super involved and have all this crazy stuff that they do, we're going to be limited to only giving you pets that have full animation sets to support that stuff. So we may have to change the pets that are available. If we decide to make pets work, you know, a completely different way than they work right now, we may be able to expand the list of creatures that are available as pets. we certainly do plan to keep adding more pets to the game as expansion or live content or DLC. We don't really know at this point exactly how we might do that, but we do plan to have a certain core number of pets when the game releases and continue to add to that as we go forward.
Okay. Also, will you have a Zaishen menagerie like you did in Guild Wars 1, where if I want to keep my bear that's level 40, can I just go back and take him?
So that's another one we haven't decided on yet. It's a matter of, would we want to, if someday we decide to do mounts, do we want to save it till we do something like that, or do we want to try to tackle it now? You have a home instance that your character lives in, and it's certainly a spot that we can take advantage of to do something like that. It's something that we haven't made a final decision on, though, and we may decide to save for expansion content and tie that into more of, some sort of expansion system at that point.
Okay. Then I've got a couple questions about PvP.
Sure.
Let's see. Actually, sorry, these have already been answered. Let me just check. Okay, there were a couple questions that I got about Thief, because this is my class that I want to play as. First one is, as we know, this new skill obtain system is you keep using skill 1 and then you unlock skill 2, then use those 2 to get skill 3.
Yes.
But the Thief has dual attacks, which uses their offhand and main hand weapon.
Yes.
And so when you use dual attack, surely you should be proficient in both, from a real life perspective, be proficient in both the offhand and the main hands. So what led to the decision to keep it as use skill 1 and 2 to unlock your dual attack?
Well, it's more from a gameplay perspective than it is from a realism perspective, how we decided to tackle that one. And sometimes in a game, gameplay just trumps realism. And for the sake of balance and fun, it's a better way to do things. We didn't want to give Thief a special advantage that they unlock stuff faster than anybody else, and that's why we made that decision. That's, again, the kind of thing where, who knows, maybe down the road we might decide to change that before the game releases, but that is where that decision was made right now, so they progress just like anybody else does.
Including the offhand weapons.
That time?
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Sorry, I can't finish. Nice to meet you.
Well, thanks again, Colin, for being able to spend your time answering a few more questions.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
Probably going to get kicked out.
Any minute now, security's going to come grab you.
Oh, no.
Let's do this. Get him in.
Okay, well, first of all, we had another PvP question that we thought of. Was in many games, if you get multi-kills or kill streaks, you get an added bonus. Are there going to be any increased loot drops or special items or anything for chain kills in World vs. World War?
It's something that we'll probably talk about more when we get ready to do a lot of reveals on World vs. World PvP. It's certainly something that we've looked at and played around with. The idea of what kind of things do we want to do to reward people who are playing the game really well, and we look at that all the way across the game. Is what areas do we want to try to reward people for doing that? And we haven't finalized any details on anything like that at this point, but it's certainly something we could end up doing.
Okay. And then there was two questions that are linked closely together. First of all, will there be pre-downloading for the game? If we bought the game, we're ready.
You want it all sunk, ready to go, so you can just jump right in. I don't know yet. That's something where I think right before release, we probably reveal all the information about that. Or right before pre-order release or whatever. If we do an earlier date, I have no clue. At this point, we're focused on just getting up to the beta, and will we do preloading for that? I have no clue on that either. That's something we'll reveal more details on when we talk about the beta too.
Eventually.
Yes.
Also, along with that, will it be Steam? Or could you download it from Steam, like Guild Wars 1, or Steam Buy?
I actually don't know. That'd be a question for somebody from the business team.
Okay.
I think we'd like to get the game out there in as many possible ways as we can so people can play it. But whether it would be on Steam or not, I can't say. Certainly, Guild Wars 1 was, so it's a possibility.
Okay. There were a couple other questions. Okay, I got one question about guilds that you might be able to answer. It's
Sure.
not anything in depth, but can you create multiple guilds? Like you can join multiple guilds, can you create multiple ones?
I think we're still trying to decide if we want to do that or not. My guess would be no, since I think we don't want to create infinite numbers of guilds. I think we want someone to be responsible for owning a guild and be responsible for that guild. So I seriously doubt we would allow that, but we haven't finalized the plans on all the guild details at this point.
Okay. And the final question that we've got from our community was, when a thief goes into invisible, will all aggro just drop off of him?
Yes.
So even if I'm in a 5-man raid, I've got the aggro, and then I drop, go invisible, then it's going to go after the people behind me.
Yes, the creatures don't see you anymore at all. That's it.
Okay.
Which is a great tactic for, you get up front, get everybody aggroed on you, do a bunch of damage, drag them off to a side, and then drop your cloak and pull back, and then they start spreading out, and then you uncloak again and start tearing them apart. So Yeah, and that's a big part of that thief combat is being able to bounce around, jump around a lot, do a bunch of damage, and then get out of the way, and then get back in and do a whole bunch.
Will
more
that be
damage.
available in PvP as well, with the whole invisibility and stealth and like vanishing right in front of people?
Certainly. Yep. We want stealth to be a part of PvP. That's very important.
And if I say I'm an elementalist top a firewall, the thief goes cloaked into the firewall. Does the cloak come off?
Yes, they would get hit and start taking damage. Yep.
Okay.
So you can. It is a good way to protect yourself against stealth guys. Is AOEs can help hit them if they're in the area. They don't become immune to damage. You just can't see them.
And I just thought of one other question that wasn't fully answered for me. With you got the different traits, not traits, but the you could be aggressive, you could be dignified, or
your personality.
Yeah, personality.
Yeah.
That's one. When you talk to an NPC, say I talk to him on an aggressive Savari and an aggressive Char, will the dialogue that I say to the NPC be the same?
Right now, yes. In your personal story, we may customize it a little more based on the race that you are. When you get to the point that you're doing stories that are shared across all the different races, certainly earlier in the game, you're on a very specific personal story chain where all the dialogue is tailored specifically to you. But if you just walk up to a character in the world and interact with them, generally the dialogue will be the same based on what race you are. It's more your personality that drives that kind of stuff.
Oh, thank you very much. That's all the questions that I have for today and for this event.
No problem.
Thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure to meet you.
Absolutely.
Okay, hello. I am Knight, one of the hosts of the Lonely Azure podcast, and today I've been to the Eurogamer Expo to do an interview with the developers for the Lonely Azure podcast and TubeElephant. I know that not all of your questions were asked to Colin Johanson. That is because before I was able to get someone to film me with Colin Johanson, I was speaking to Martin, who very helpfully answered the questions that I didn't ask Colin. I had a very fantastic day. Guild Wars 2 is really shaping up to be what it is, and without further ado, I will answer the questions that were posted, but I didn't get to ask Colin. The first question was that is there any PvE content that's so hard that even hardcore gamers will be challenged? And the truth is that yes, there is. It's going to be the dungeons in explorable mode. I've been told by Martin and also Regina that they're going to be so hard that they're going to be even more difficult than the Deep, the Underworld, DOA, Urgals, all that. So that's something to look forward to. They said that it was so hard that even when they had a group of them, the developers, at a conference, that they couldn't actually complete one of the dungeons. So if you're looking forward to that, then yeah. Next question was about transmutation stones, and if it was possible to combine appearances between different armor classes and weapon types. Answer to that is no. You have to combine swords, you have to combine light armor, you have to combine all that. But you are allowed to not show certain pieces of equipment, so you can hide your helmet if you so desire. Another question that was asked was that about world versus world and battles lasting for a couple of weeks. And then a massive raid at, say, 3 AM when everyone's asleep. Well, the fact of the matter is, there's going to be, I was told that there's going to be 3 servers paired up, well, matched up. So even if one server decides to do that, then the other 2 can combine forces, ally, temporarily, and completely obliterate that server, because eventually they're going to have to sleep sometime as well. Will there be any types of friendly fire in PvP? Nope. And if there's any news for observable mode for PvP like there was in Guild Wars, there's no news to that. Other questions? No more information was given about guilds or alliances. Simple as that. They're discussing all the different things like reserving guild names so that no one else can nick them. No hints for 8th profession or new professions or races in expansions. they have no control over where the Guild Wars novels are going to be released, unfortunately, so it's down to the publishers, unfortunately. So if you're in a country that doesn't have it, well, that's not their fault. They haven't released any requirements for open beta. That will come later when it's closer to that, so we'll find about that later. Again, with the presence, one of the things that happened recently was there was a rumor about them starting beta in November. Well, even if it does happen, then it's going to be closed beta. They said that it might happen, might not, but it will be before the end of this year. And the next book will be sometime in the future. They have nothing about that, so, well, too bad we don't know anything about that, and same with character slots. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the video. At the end will be the credits of the people that have asked these questions, and thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy.